Welcome back to Have You Met? Have you even met, bro? Have you even met, bro? John. Now actually, it's RGB Entertainment now.
RBG Entertainment, Retro Gaming
RBG.
Entertainment.
Did I tell that wrong? Damn it!
I don't know. Did you? It's I did it on purpose to confuse people. Because RGB, when you do think retro gaming, you think RGB, but it's RBG for retro.
For the cal.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Unfortunately, Rhea is not with us today. She's not. Hope she feels well. Feels better. Hope she'll be back with this series next time. But I wanted to get my pal John. I miss him first of all. But he's been hard. Cyrus. Yes.
We're
back. Yeah, thank you. Even before Rhea said she couldn't cancel, I was thinking about last night. We've never really had a fourth panelist, but it's great to get Cyrus back because Cyrus, you've actually played some of these games, of John's. Yeah.
Oh yes, quite a bit.
Yeah,
I forced him to test my games, like you force him to lift TVs, Max.
Yeah.
I'm basically a slave. I'm abused constantly by my friends.
RBG, Jeffrey says.
Or what is it? Right. Easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm. Well, in this series, we want to do a interview, like a softball interview. No hard questions. We want to talk about Kelly, get his sock from the laundry. Okay. Want to talk about your childhood, what got you interested in gaming, what got you what you wanted to be when you grew up, when you so that's Callie again wanting attention. Okay, so John, let's how did you grow up? What did you want to be when you grew up? Did you know you wanted to be a game developer? What were you thinking about when you were a kid? What were you?
That's a hobby. But you guys, Max, I think you're like a late 80s, early 90s kid. You might remember the cool folders you would get, like the dolphins and shit on them.
Yeah.
Right. So I wanted to be a marine biologist based on those little
a marine biologist
stupid things. Yeah. I wanted to go in the cages with sharks and shit. But then I realized it took a lot of work to be a marine biologist and I was lazy.
Yeah.
So I joined the Navy instead.
Thank you for your service. I really appreciate all our vets out there for sure. You served the country. A lot of respect, man. So
I had too much fun.
Yeah. So a marine biologist is not the first thing that popped in my head when I thought young little John.
A lot of people don't know that about me. It's a little get to know John a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any siblings or just you or?
I have five siblings.
Oh, I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah. I am the second youngest out of 6.
Okay. So, how was that growing up with your siblings in gaming?
Well,
and how did that start?
So my dad was married 3 times, twice before he met my mom. So they're half brothers and sisters until my mother, who I have an older sister and a younger sister. So I grew up with 2 sisters. And luckily for me, I got a lot of gaming alone because they weren't really into video games. So the video games we had in our house was basically mine. And sometimes they would want to, watch. My older sister would want to watch like 90210 or something and had to kick me off the TV. But other than that, yeah, it was I had a pretty much free reign on video games. So, But my dad got me into the video gaming. So my real dad passed away when I was 6, but before that, so he passed away in 90 or 91. I can't quite remember the year. But he got me a Nintendo in, I want to say like 88. And that was my first video game console. And brought it home, played Duck Hunt, Rad Racer. So
those are the first games, Rad Racer and Duck Hunt. Okay.
Yep.
So Nintendo did it. And that really explains a lot as to your current game development too. It's very Nintendo-esque, inspired by that generation of gaming,
Yes and no. So the main reason I got into Nintendo game development was basically a fluke. Some idiot troll was talking about how terrible this program called NES Maker was. I was like, what's NES? I just happened to stumble upon this video. I'm like, what the hell is NES Maker? That sounds cool. So I started looking into it, and NES Maker is basically Unity. It's a It's a program this guy Joe Granato created to make his own game called Mystic Searches, and he created it to be used by other people as an engine to make their own game. So it has like an interface. You could, go in. There's like base code that you can change, or you can adapt, or you can completely get rid of and use your own code. So that's kind of how I started with it. I had no idea what I was doing. I had a little bit of coding background from when I was in high school. I took like Java and C. I used to do like HTML websites for fun when I was, a youngster, back when the internet was the real internet before it is what it is now.
What? Is this the soft internet? Wait. The real internet? Is it soft now?
No, do you remember how the internet used to be like you could find anything before algorithms?
Oh,
and now everything's just algorithmic. Like on Google, you go into something and
I still search for
keywords and that
to feed me. I don't.
You can't even trust the search anymore. There's AI.
Right. There's pay to get results for searches and stuff.
If you ever want to go down a weird rabbit hole, and I might have mentioned this aside, look up the dead internet theory. It's very interesting. But just if you're bored one evening or one night or whatever, look it up. It's a very interesting theory.
Okay, I might check that out. All right, so your dad got you your first console. That was your first game? First few games was Duck Hunt and Rad Racer.
It was, yep.
Okay.
Got a picture of me playing Super Mario Brothers in my underwear at like 4 years old. I was gonna put it in the manual I'm working on, but I was like, that might be too much.
Yeah.
You don't want to put that out there. Like,
so is that your favorite childhood console on the NES because of that, where it got you started?
It's the most nostalgia I have, I think, for consoles. It's not my favorite. It's a close 3-way tie between the Genesis, the PlayStation 1, and the Nintendo.
Okay.
So.
Do you remember? In Cyrus, if you could think of some questions to ask John about his growing up too, throw them in there too. But what I'm also going to talk to you about music, movies, and TV shows and cartoons and stuff too.
Yeah,
what you like? What console? What do you remember? Like, be the first console, your first game you like sought after to get, or maybe not even bought yourself, but you're like, I need this game before it even came out, or. I just got used game. It was ever at the used store because we were poor. Basically, I don't remember.
I had a same childhood mostly. I didn't ever really have like the Nintendo Power magazines or anything like that. So the only way I would learn about other games back in like the NES and Genesis era was basically on like the manuals or the inserts they had on the games, because like Konami would put like all their other games on some of the inserts when you bought a game. So I knew about games that way, or like my cousins would have certain games that I would want. But I would say the first one I was like, I have to have this game. You have to buy me this game, was probably Streets of Rage 2. And I remember Streets of Rage 2, for whatever reason, I said Streets of Rage and my mom heard Primal Rage. So I got Primal Rage. And I remember opening, I'm like, Primal Rage. I'm like, what is this? My mom's like, oh, you said you wanted it. And I was brought up to be grateful for what you have. So I wasn't like, no, Mom, I wanted Streets of Rage. I just kept that inside and buried it. And I was like, yay, Primal Rage. Oh, yeah, Primal Rage.
We all have a story.
Shit out of some Primal Rage, man.
Don't we all have a story where our mom thought something was something else? And so funny. Hey,
you're drawing as a Streets of Primal Rage. That's actually a really legit title. Is there an 8-up? Well, you can make it. Is there 8-bit beat 'em up coming? Streets of Primal Rage.
Streets of. It's not a
bad.
Wouldn't that be something?
No, have like little raptors there. Like have little raptors and T-Rexes on there as well. The like 8-bit dinosaurs in the streets with like a guy like Axel. That would be pretty. That's the game I want too. All right.
There was a kangaroo in Streets of Rage 3, right? There was. Yeah. No dinosaurs though.
The first game I remember seeking out was I really wanted, and I actually didn't know about Streets of Rage till I got my Sega CD, and it was on the variety disc, and I know that I never played Streets of Rage until it was on the one with Shinobi.
You know that version is different than the cartridge version. The one that's on the disc, it has better sound.
That's what yeah, I love that sound. I played that game. That was like game I played the most on the Sega CD, is a game that you could get on the Sega Genesis. But the game I remember searching out for the NES first, the first one that I like got new is like, Mom, I need TMNT Mutant Manhattan Project.
Oh, that's the crappy one
for the Genesis.
I like that one. No, for the NES, I like that one. You didn't like that one?
Oh, I was about to say, are we gonna have this Genesis debate again?
No. I don't. The Hyperstone Heists. Thanks. I still believe that with all my heart. It's not garbage. It's my least favorite.
Okay, calm down, man.
It's just my least favorite TMNT game. Okay.
No,
all right. So what other nerd stuff did you like? Comic books, action figures? Did you like cartoons like He-Man, Transformers, movies?
He-Man and Transformers was a little before me. I was into the TMNT cartoon series. And then the Batman, they had a Batman series for a bit. So, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was my jam, dude. My mom used to go to Blockbuster and buy the VHS tapes, because you'd get like a VHS tape, there'd be like 2 episodes on it. That's how I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. I had like the pajamas, I had the bed sheets. I remember the pajamas came with like a headband. I don't know if you guys remember those. I would like jump off the couch trying to be a turtle. And then when the movie came out, I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh, the movie was a big impact on you.
Yeah, the first one was 89.
So there's a time in John's history where he's like dancing in the lemon, go ninja, go with Vanilla Ice.
I remember I had the VHS, and the VHS had like a cool 3D cover on it. I can't remember if it was the first or the second one. And I remember like my sister had a what was that popular boy band back in the day, back in the 80s? It's way before the Backstreet Boys. New Kids on the Block. New Kids on the Block. And I was like, New Kids on the Block. I was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could beat up the New Kids on the Block. Shit like that. I was big into that stuff, man.
Wow, I would hope that that would be embarrassing.
I never got into comics. Comics just never interested me.
Okay. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a big movie for you in your childhood. Anything else? What about the VHS? You have any affinity for VHS?
No, zero.
No. I'm gonna bring you some. I'll find you some really mint ones, like sealed, so you can at least keep it on the shelf, even if you don't have a.
I have a VHS player. I still have it, but the only reason why I have it is because I convert some old home videos that I did a few years back.
So he already has a player. I got Cyrus back. Cyrus was like, Max, I don't want to watch these, and then he watches them occasionally now, right?
It's kind of fun to throw one on and have it just, it's not like this isn't how you're going to always watch movies, but like to just throw something on and have it going.
All the sounds and stuff are like put in the VCR. It's like very nostalgic,
It's kind of cool.
25 minutes.
Yeah. I'll probably be down here. So.
All right. Any other movies that you could think of when you're what about like Terminator or RoboCop?
Oh, I love Terminator. The first time I watched Terminator was at my older brother's house. And that movie actually kind of scared me a little bit back in the day, because I thought it was kind of scary. But it was like one of my favorite movies. Julianne says hi, Cy.
Hey.
Hello. Hi.
You know what? My dad used to make me watch Chucky. I used to watch Chucky.
Your dad made you
Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, man. My dad was a maniac. Awesome. I used to watch Chucky as a kid, and then I'd go to bed. He'd be like, "Oh, make sure Chucky's not under your bed, waiting for you."
That's awesome.
Yeah, an interesting child. No, it was funny, because like parents don't do that to their kids now. So
that's why they're so soft. That's why you're all soft, young
Chucky.
generation.
I remember watching Tales from the Crypt and just like hiding under the blanket when my dad.
Is that why we're a little bit better for the world, hardened, because of the movies we watched? Terminator, Chucky. I think so.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes me tough, right, Cyrus? Don't you feel tougher?
You ever see the movie Boogeyman?
We watched all the R-rated
Boogeyman.
movies. We weren't supposed to, but we watched them anyway. I can't remember how many times, like, it'd be like, well, I'm not gonna keep talking, but like you go hang out at a friend's house and it's just like all night of watching rated R horror movies. Good times, man. Good times.
What about music? Were you a hair metal guy? And what kind of music did you grow up with? Did you have a Walkman? Did you have a cassette Walkman or CD player Walkman?
No, I had for a while. My older brother lived with us, and he used to put MTV on constantly. So that was, like the late 80s. So a lot of hair metal, stuff like that. But I wasn't really into music until I was like a teenager. And then I got into like Metallica, Pantera, Ozzy Osbourne, shit like that.
See, I only got into them recently, and it's because of my retro journey of getting back into cassette tapes and stuff. And I keep talking to all my friends, and they say, you got to listen to this. I've only started listening to Metallica lately. Like, I always knew about Metallica, but I never really,
older stuff is great. You know what I find myself listening to, and I didn't listen to it a lot when I was younger, was a lot of grunge music. Because grunge was huge in the 90s, and you had the big ones like Nirvana and some of the other ones. But I go back and listen to some of it now just because it's like a nostalgia trip for me.
Right. I like music that I hated then because it was like overplayed on the radio, and now it like takes me back to that mindset. Yeah. Yes, the Street Fighter 2 Alpha 2 shirt is dope. All right. Grunge is goated as the worst term for that era. But we all figure drunk. Come on. We know what it is.
What's the other terms you use for that era?
Yeah, I don't know what other terms. Yeah. Grunge was a style, was a way
Pearl
of life.
Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana. Yeah. I used to be Soundgarden was mine that I really like.
Yeah.
I liked Pearl Jam a little bit. I still go back.
Oh, yeah. I really like Pearl Jam too. Yeah, their new album's actually pretty decent.
Third Eye Blind, I think, was another one.
Cyrus got me into, what was that tape that you got when we were tape hunting?
Skid Row.
Skid Row. I have to find. I saw that tape one other time and I forgot to get it. I have to get that. Yes, thanks, Christina. Check out Retro Ball. We're going to start talking about his gaming. You also, again, you served our country. Much respect for that. What made you decide to serve? That's a really.
It was my dad was in the Navy.
Okay.
And I wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps a little bit because he passed away when I was 6. And I felt like that was the first reason. It was kind of like a way for me to connect with him. The second was I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 18 years old, but I knew I wanted to kind of see the world and the Navy. I mean,
you and your wife both served?
Yeah, that's how we met.
That's amazing. I respect.
Been together almost
you
20 years,
yes.
man.
Yeah, no, that I really.
We've been together 20 years, right?
April 23rd will be 20.
Yeah, we've been married for 18 years.
Wow. Respect. That's a lot. That's great. Okay, so you said you started to do the programming because someone said this program is not that great for NES games, and you're like, I'm going to figure this out.
Every community has trolls, I guess, right? So I just happen to look at it, and it's you have to pay for the program. It's not free. And at first I started up, I'm like, this is not, because they advertise it as you can make a game, no programming. So I was like, oh, this will be interesting to play with. And at the time I kind of was, at the time I wanted to get away from YouTube. I didn't want to do YouTube anymore. Yeah. But I wanted to still
we all had a transition period after certain things.
Yeah. Well, I've always been very creative. Like when I was a teenager, like I said, I used to make like websites. I used to make like stupid websites about the PlayStation and Dreamcast and how the graphics were, and did all these stupid reviews. I made like a Simpsons web. I was a huge Simpsons fan in the 90s. Still am, just don't really watch the new ones. But I made like a website in the 90s for it was just like a Simpsons fan page where you could literally like just download little like sound bites of like Homer saying dope or why I oughta, shit like that. Just funny clips from the Simpsons, because I don't think you could put video online yet back then, but you could like upload sounds and shit. So I got this program. Fast forward, I got the program and I'm like, this is complicated. I don't know, but I'm like, you know what? I paid $36. So I should probably at least I was like, I'm going to put a month into it and see what I can do. Okay. And I was just kind of hooked, man. Like the process of creating something, as you do little things in code or whatever, you start kind of, seeing it come together. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of like playing a video game, right? Like, why do we play games? Because we want to do something, we have a challenge, and then we beat that challenge and you feel good about it. Coding and programming and making games is really kind of like a exaggerated version of that. It just takes a lot longer, but the process is very fun. And I can't, like, I have trouble focusing on a lot of things because I'm somebody who always just has to go and be doing something. I can't sit still. So this kind of like takes my mind and just concentrates it. And when I code or program, sometimes like hours go by. I'll forget to eat. I don't even realize it. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it, and I've been doing it for like a year and a half now.
So
Crazy.
It's not. It doesn't seem just like a part-time hobby now. It seems like you're going to keep. I feel like you're going to keep going.
That's all I do, man. So I work. I take care of my family. I do stuff that I need to do as a dad and husband, and then if I'm not doing that, I'm working on my games. So
yeah.
Side knows I bug him all the time about this shit. So, look what I did. Like, I made the game I'm working on now is kind of like a mix of Mega Man and Metroid. So I was like thinking of different types of upgrades I can make for the game. And one of the things I wanted to do was a charged shot. So I just did that over the weekend. I was like, "Si, check this out." So I was like, "Thumbs up, cool." Check.
I'm an insider.
Well, I don't share too much because, like, I don't know, when it comes to like certain things, like you don't want to share something that's broken or not working, but like you want to share it with somebody.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, just
thank you, John. I appreciate it.
So, the first game you worked on was the Desert of the Dead.
Desert of the Undead was the first.
Desert of the Undead.
Kind of just it was it was like an experimental process that kind of became a game. It's a real simple game, it's nothing crazy. It's buggy as hell because I had no idea what I was doing as a coder. I mean, it's not broken. I've since ironed out all the games, but it's one of those things like you can always, like a game, they say a game is never finished. Like you could always go back and change games. So yeah, there it is. That's the first one.
Yeah, it is on Steam if you want to check it out. $1.99. Let me see if I could make this full screen. Ooh, this might not be the best quality there. So there's the first game.
That's pretty good.
If you want to check it out, where else could they check out? If anyone wants to check out some of your games, Steam.
Go on itch.io. Just type in Retro Bro or Retro Bro Gaming. You'll see I have that on there, and I have another platformer game. It's kind of like a Mario clone. That game's free. That was just a little side project I did back in November. It's kind of like a janky Mario clone wannabe. If you go to my itch page, you could see it on there.
All right, let me bring that up here.
I can show you all of them on there.
Okay.
And then there's two games I have in development that both have demos on my itch page as well. I can talk about those if you want to pull it up.
Where's the link of the?
I can send it to you. Hold on.
Yeah, because on your X it just has the Steam powered.
It has the Steam. Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Broforce. Yeah, I played Broforce. Broforce is pretty good.
That's a fun game.
Oh, while you're bringing that up, what
put that in the private
so
chat.
You do the coding, you use this program, the art assets, you get someone for that. What about the music and stuff?
The music, I have a guy who works with me. His name's Arsen Productions. I can share actually what NES Maker looks like. Let me do this here. Share screen. It's gonna let me share it.
And I'll put this link in the chat. Some people, I'm going to start playing these games. I know you have PC Master Race on your on your X. I am such a console gamer. I hate gaming on PC, but I just got to because there's so many indie games like yours that I want to try. But there is also a way that you can play on console right now too with the Ant Stream, right? One of the games is an Ant Stream.
Yeah, Desert of the Undead. If you have PlayStation 4, Xbox, or or PC. It's on there. So this is NES Maker basically. So this is a game I'm working on. Yeah, this is a game I'm working on now.
More power to you. This would drive me insane.
So this is basically just the UI, but I can go in here and like edit different scripts. For example, I have today I was working on a I don't know, can you still see this?
Yeah.
I have a little window popped up. I can go in here. Give me 1 second.
This seems really tedious. Cyrus, are you going to be doing this too?
What is this?
Are you going to be doing something like this too? You think you could want to go through all this stuff?
No.
No.
I went to get this so you could see.
Cool.
Physical.
That's so in here, like this is just an example of like let me show. I don't know why it's flashing like
that's that. Quite an accomplishment to have your game in physical form like that, John. That's really amazing.
Awesome. So this is kind of like just it uses 6502 assembly code. So this is the code I wrote basically to be able to make that power shot. So it's time consuming and it's a lot of research because like I said before I started doing all this stuff, I had like no idea how to use 6502. But the cool thing about NES Maker is you could have like there's a built-in editor for sprites. So I can basically go in here and create any sprite I want. You can see here I have like my this is a boss that I made here.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty like I said, it's like a video game in and of itself. So yeah, different types of objects in that.
I'll play them. I don't want to do what you're doing. That's a lot of work. I respect it. I respect
one of the things you asked me about like other people that I work with. So obviously I don't do the sound. I have somebody do the sound for me. He's a very good composer. He's done the sound on all my games, including this one I'm working on. But this is I drew her. This is the main player. Like, so when you get a cutscene, this is what she looks like. But I can't animate like I'm not an artist. So I can't animate anything. So I have a guy that will animate all my sprites for me.
Oh, okay.
And then I just put it into the editor. So yeah, it's work, man, but it's a lot of fun. Like I said,
you have a small team too. Then that's great. You have people you work with multiple games here. Here's the list of games so far. All right. Desert Undead. This one here. Maverick's back. No offense. Maverick, Bad Dad Extra, Echoes of Elysium. So this is the most recent one, right?
The one that's almost done is Maverick's Baghdad Extraction. That's actually, it's kind of like a Zelda meets. You should be able to click on it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like Zelda meets. If you
like,
click on it, there's screenshots. Zelda meets kind of Zombies Ate My Neighbors a little bit, but
I was gonna say it's like Zelda Gear Solid.
Yeah. So I compared it to Metal Gear a little bit, and it's kind of the look I was going for. But it's also a light gun game.
Oh man, I'm so in. So
you could go like
you could download.
It's like Zelda. You go. There's a demo. You could go in the overworld. So the overworld is the premise of the game.
So I could download this, put this on my NES EverDrive and try it.
Yeah, it'll work.
Wow.
Yeah, I tested it a lot on my EverDrive, so it definitely works. So.
There's a save feature, so if you do play it on your EverDrive might have a little issues with saving.
It only supports the controller, not the light gun. So is that a hurdle you have to get past?
No, it's done. I just actually posted did I post that video? I made the video. I haven't posted it yet.
I think that's one of the videos you had me look at. A new light gun.
Yeah, if you click on it, I think it might be the second link I sent you. So each area you'll have a massive overworld, which is about 70% the size of Zelda's overworld. And then there's dungeons and camps you have to go into to basically collect intel reports, save your comrades who are captured by Saddam Hussein's forces. So you'll save them, but in all those dungeons, you'll have the overhead view, but you also have like shooting areas as well that you use your light gun. If you don't have a light gun, you can use your controller. So I made it to be able to use both. So there's
you have to get a CRT again.
Yeah, you like that little CRT I got? 13-inch JVC. I love that thing.
That's a nice one.
That's a clean CRT.
It's got an amazing picture. It's got a better picture than the 20-inch Memorex that I had.
All right, let's play this here.
Gun test.
Yeah, so this was the
CRT,
first
so
light
just
gun
go
test
straight
I
to
did.
arcade mode
You
here.
could probably just turn it down. I can
And
talk over
I
it.
got my original NES.
So
I got my zapper.
You got the NES too.
Controller and port.
that's the one I had when I was a kid. Yep,
Oh, it's the same one.
same one. That thing's been through hell, man.
I can't believe you made a light gun game. That's. I mean, we were trying to get this interview before, but that's I was like, oh my god.
Much harder to.
Yeah, so this is kind of arcade mode that I started. The game has two modes, basically story mode or arcade mode, which is what I'm showing here. And it's basically you'll go through like it's 10 waves of enemies and rounds that you have to kill, and then you have a final boss at the end. It's a lot of fun. It's hard with a controller. I think Size tried it with a controller. He didn't get too far.
Wow.
But in his defense, I can't get too far with a controller either. But the light gun's a lot of fun.
I think you're going to do really well. When are you planning to get this on a physical cartridge?
Yeah, this is going to go to Kickstarter. This is going to be a Kickstarter game.
I haven't heard of anyone doing in the indie community doing a light gun game.
Yeah, there's not too many out there. I was honestly kind of surprised why there isn't. This is an older video that I did. So like now when you shoot that cursor, if you're using the light gun, the cursor or the crosshair will disappear. In this one, I hadn't changed that yet. So like you see that crosshair in the middle of the screen, that goes away now if you're using the light gun.
That's good. But it also, I wonder if my zapper's not good because I played it at the lake and it wasn't connecting like that one. So I might have to get to it.
Yeah, that's like I got that light gun. It's like a Hyperkin, I think.
Oh, okay. It works all right.
Yeah, it's kind of clicky. It works, but it's not like it doesn't have that OG feel to it. But I mean, it's good enough. One of the things I wanted to do when I go to Kickstarter was actually create make a custom light gun, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. They're just hard to get made. So
well, it'd be hard to. That would be cool, but that would also be hard to compete with the other people that mass market the Hyperkin that have them everywhere.
Well, it would be like a Kickstarter type perk, you know, like certain because Kickstarter has like different levels of commitments. So that was kind of my plan, but
easier with the light gun than it is with
okay.
the controller.
Any other plans you could share about the future? What other type of genres of game? This is the most recent project. Anything else you could share that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I'm working on another game called Echoes of Elysium Descent, which was a game I started making about a month ago for a competition. It's kind of like Game Mash. It's called Bite Off. So it's a competition for NES homebrew devs. You have a month to create a project based off a theme.
Wow!
And if you go back to the itch page, you can click on that. There's actually a trailer on there for that one.
You sent me a video too. I could bring that.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I put that on there. So this one's kind of like a Metroidvania meets Mega Man to a degree. I'm a big like space geek, so I came up with the idea of a lot of like videos I've watched, like humanity's dying. Like it's in the future, Earth's dying. You have to find a planet to basically move to that's not Earth. So humans send a android called Kairos.
I love the colors on this one.
Yeah, everyone. This is the first thing they say is they like the colors and the sound.
I love the sprite design.
So you're basically playing as a autonomous AI exploring this planet. And the reason why she has to go to the planet is because something on her ship happened and there was like a surge on the planet. So she has to go down and investigate what's going on and basically solve the mystery. So this demo's on itch too. The demo's actually really clean. Had a couple people test it for me, Sai being one of those people. I think you and Justin are actually the only two people that tested it for me. But I've learned a lot since my first game. So there's like Sai can speak to this. There's so many less bugs and issues in the demo here.
I don't want to say too much about this game, but it's really good.
You could tell that you're getting better. Like, not that anything was wrong with the first games, but you could tell you're like advancing. It's awesome, man. This is great.
Yeah, if you go This boss took me like a few days, so this one was a nightmare to do.
Cool.
But yeah, it's funny because this project is like getting way like this was just something I started for this competition, and everyone's incredibly excited about this one.
Yeah, me too.
I have to finish it now. I have to finish it. So
I don't want to say too much, but it's.
What about the feature? You want to like accommodated comics, mini comic, or anything with it, or other things that go along with your ideas with your games?
no, I'm not going to do comics. I just got done doing a manual for Mavericks Baghdad Extraction over the last 2 days, and I hated doing it. Every second of it, I hated it because I hate just like it's like making a PowerPoint presentation. I hate it. But it came together nicely for the most part, and that because Mavericks Baghdad Extraction will have a full color manual when it releases. It was a lot of work. I didn't like a second of it. I'm glad I'm done doing it. I have to make a couple corrections because I had some typos. If anybody knows me, I'm the typo king. I think my brain just moves way too fast and I miss a lot. So I got to go back and make some changes. But other than that, yeah, it's coming together nicely. I should have that Kickstarter for Mavericks. I'm thinking sometime in June, probably.
Okay.
It's basically, like I said, it's basically done. I mean, it's really at this point, how much do I want to add to it? Which I don't think I'm going to add much at all. So
right. I'll be definitely checking out these games. The one, the Desert of the Undead looks really cool. But the ones that are really grabbing me are the Light Gun and the Echoes of Elysium. I gotta be honest, like that trailer there, I'm like immediately hooked, John. You got some good stuff coming.
It's a fun game, man. It really is, and it's not overly hard too. One of the things I got a lot of you want to make games people can beat, and the first game I made is really hard. When you develop a game, you don't realize how hard something is because you're constantly playing it. You know where every enemy is. You know how to get over certain objects. So to you, it's like, oh yeah, this is easy. But to somebody who's just picking it up, it's like, oh, this is
the really other thing hard. That's really I respect you a lot is even people that get into developing games, they usually do. And tell me if I'm right on this, Cyrus. They usually do one genre a game and they just keep doing that genre. But you're doing the Metroidvania, you're doing a light gun, you're doing a running gun. So that's what's really I'm really impressed by too, is you're not just doing one thing. It shows you're trying all kinds of things. Is there any other genre that you might be interested in of game that you might want to do down the road? You're doing light guns, Metroidvania.
Mavericks Baghdad Extraction isn't just a light gun game too. It's also an exploration overhead adventure, kind of like Zelda. I kind of added the light gun later because I just wanted to do originally with the controller to have those areas like kind of like Punisher for the NES. I don't know if you've ever played that. But the way scrolling would have been, because I have a tile-based HUD, so the HUD has to stay stationary. So you have to games that have tile-based HUDs that scroll, like third-party developers back in the day, they had to do a lot of tricks to get that HUD to stay in place without the screen pretty much screwing up. And I'm not far enough advanced as a developer on to do that. So I was like, I'll make it single screen. And then I was playing it. I'm like, I wonder if I can incorporate light gun stuff. So the nice thing about NES Maker is there's a big community of developers. Mm-hmm. And they share ideas on how to do certain things. And one of the developers kind of created a archaic light gun thing, code to implement. I basically just had to implement it into my game and change it to how I needed it to work via code. And that's how the light gun game parts. But there's like 73 light gun screens. It's a lot. So 40% of the game is light gun and the rest of it is overhead in that. Other genres, I mean, I don't know. I did a platformer. I did the Metroidvania. To me, at this point, I just kind of like want to experiment next on what'll be fun to do. You know, before we went live, I was telling, and I told Cyrus about this too, but I was telling Max, I was like, I want to start doing maybe like some demakes of some certain things. And the other day while I was laying in bed, I hurt my back at the gym, so I couldn't sleep. So I was laying in bed. Me too. I'm laying in bed trying to like
so many reps.
Get my mind off the back pain. And
my back was hurt with lifting CRTs.
Getting old, man. Getting old. So I was watching a video of Virtual Cop because I love that game on the Sega side. I'm like, I want to make this on the NES. Like I want to make a demake of this game. Have it be a fun project. Put it out for free. Call it like Virtual Agent or something. Or maybe like I was telling Cy about it. Cy's like, why don't you do like a few other different things? And then I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, I could do like stage 1 be a virtual cop, stage 2 be like House of the Dead. No one's ever done a demake of House of the Dead for anything. There's been remakes of it like on Steam, but no one's ever done a demake. So I was like, yeah, I could do that. That'd be fun. So that's a ways off. I mean, these things take a lot of time. So by the time I get to that, it'd probably be like next year. But just the process intrigues me on how to do that. So, and it wouldn't be very hard, honestly. Like that would be easy to do. Okay. Like things that are hard to do, or things that you would think would be easy to do. Like the charge shot I made for Echoes of Elysium, that was a nightmare to do that. And it's kind of the same way Mega Man does it. And it's funny because I watched this channel on YouTube called something, I can't remember the name of it, but they go in depth of different like codes for different types of games. Like for example, they talked about what's the real bad Contra game on the NES that slows down a lot. Is it Contra Force? Yeah. So they broke that game down and they talked about like just like the collision mechanics of it, and why it's so slow. So they do a lot of videos like that. And after I had got done working on the charge shot, you're good. The charge shot for my Echoes of Elysium, I saw a video that they had put out for the Mega Buster for Mega Man 4. And I'm going through this video and I'm like, holy shit, I did it the exact same way. So I was like, that's interesting, but it was hard to do because even in Mega Man, it doesn't work right 100% of the time, because one of the things about programming 6502 work with the NES is there's a lot of limitations, on things like you would think would be easy to do, but because of the limitations, it's very complicated. That's why I like those Steam games that are 8-bit inspired, but they're not the same. Like they don't, like from a developer aspect, they don't have like those troubles that they had to go through to get there. Right. It's very easy to do in something like Unity and then just change things. There's no sprite limitations in Unity.
Oh, okay.
Using Java, so
So the Unity has the look of it, but not necessarily the feel and the old school programming. Yeah. And what this accommodates is like
one of the things I had to do in Maverick's Baghdad Extraction is there's the end game boss is Super Saddam. So you basically fight Saddam Hussein. Yeah, he's Super Saddam. So he looks like there's a screenshot of it on the itch page, I think. But he looks like Iron Man, and this big Iron Man and he shoots rockets at you. So one of the things, the way the Nintendo does its object collision, is it will do them in order. So when he shot a rocket, the rocket would be behind him. You couldn't see it. So I had to figure out how to do like sprite shuffle, and that was like just to get that rocket to not be behind the Super Saddam took me days to do that. Shit like that, but it was a lot. It was fun. Super Saddam.
That's amazing. Has game development ruined gaming for you? Like now you play a game, you're like, oh, I could make this, or is it?
No, but you know what it does though. I'll be playing a game and I'll see something and I'll go, oh shit, I can try and implement something similar in my game. So I'll stop playing the game, and then I'll just like go back to coding and working on my game to see if I can do it. 3 days go by and then I'm not playing the game anymore. So that's one thing it does. So I play way more like NES games now.
Okay. So it has changed your habits too, like your gaming.
Yeah, I play a ton of homebrew games now. The last few streams I've done on my channel, I don't do much content creation anymore on YouTube, but I'll stream every now and then. And almost all the streams I've done going back a few months have all been NES homebrew games, because it's interesting to see what these guys can do. And some of these homebrew games, man, that are done today are implementing things that weren't done back in the 80s and early 90s when the NES was out.
So it's a strong community.
It's very cool. There's more homebrew NES games than there are like licensed NES games at this point. It's pretty crazy.
Really?
There's over over 1,000 homebrew games. And there's some good ones. Some of the devs I've got to know really well. There's a game I streamed called Panzer 3. If you played this game, you would think this was like a Konami game from like the mid 90s. It's so good, man. And the cool thing about these games is like, they implement things that they didn't implement back then because just nobody had thought of it yet. So it's really
That's
neat.
awesome. That's a
It's really
great community. I'm intrigued now to check out this stuff. I'll check out some more if you have recommendations to contact John if you're interested in his games. Go to his channel here, and then check out this the NES homebrew and developer community doing some amazing things. Let me also link your.
Yeah, I mostly link the itch page. I mostly just on YouTube just post like developer logs or updates. Like I posted a video of that charge shot. Kind of showed that off a little bit.
Okay, here you go. For sure.
Because
You could probably
here, I'll send you the link to that one here. I don't know if I sent that one to you, but I'll send it. It's only a minute video.
Okay, cool.
Let me put that in the private chat here. You can share this one. This is the charge shot that I did. Another thing with limitations is like everyone's like, because some of the people I share the games with to test or whatever, and they're like, oh, you could create this or you could do that. And I'm like, well, I only have so many buttons on a Nintendo controller. Like I would love, dude, I can't imagine how like developers felt in the 90s when they went from the NES controller to the Super Nintendo controller and all the things that go, oh, I can do this now. Because like I've got upgrades in the game, but it's like, well, how many can you do? Because you only have so many button combinations. And then even at that point, like your code starts conflicting with other buttons and it's just, it gets real complicated. So
let me bring this up here. Where do I look? You want me to look at the charge shot?
Yeah. Pull that one up. I'll show you.
This is where you sent me.
Oh, did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. My bad. Let me send you. It should be this one.
Well, that's a stack of Wii U games there, Cyrus.
Oh yeah, those things over there.
We'll also try to work in some current day topics too. How you feel about now that you're a retro developer? How you feel about current day video gaming? You lost interest in current gen?
I sent you that link, Max. No, the thing with current gen is it's just hard to find good games anymore. I feel like they're all kind of the same. So
yeah,
I'm a big Dark Souls fan, so I like those games. I still play Elden Ring way too much. A lot of my friends make fun of me for it.
I've never played that one. Okay, let's check this out. This took a long time to program for.
Yeah, this took me a few days. So it's just like Mega Man. Like you hold the B button down. You can see up in the upper left-hand corner when it's ready, you'll see like a little indicator. Mega Man, he flashes.
Okay.
And then when you release the button, it'll fire it.
Nice.
And it does like 4x the damage of your normal shots. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to do that. And that's how I'm talking about. Like you get these ideas and then you get them right, and it feels like there's just like that
very
nice
rewarding
sense of accomplishment. Today, I actually just added. I'm working on. I almost have it working. Right now, there's no boss health bar, so I'm working on implementing that. I have it almost working perfectly. There's one issue I have to figure out, but once I get it, I'll probably post another video to show that off. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on, man.
That looks great. Can't wait. How long does development take usually?
I've been working on Mavericks Baghdad Extraction for November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. It's basically done. But if you like hours wise, I can't even tell you, dude, because I probably worked on it 4+ hours a day.
Yeah, it's about to say it's pretty much all you've been doing, John.
Yeah,
just working on these.
Well,
games.
if you get free time, would you rather program or work on your game or game? If you get free time,
work on my game.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't game much anymore, man. I mean, I still do. You know,
we don't see John anymore.
I know.
That's why I'm so pale.
Game
hiding down here in
developer.
my basement.
You crunch. I to be fair, I was a little sympathetic, but I'm like, no, keep working 4 hours a day so we could play these games.
I like doing it, man. It's a lot of fun.
All right, so I ask on Have You Met series, we ask a few weird questions. If you had all the money in the world, what would be your perfect day, bro? What would you like if money was no object, you could just do whatever you want? What would you do? Just program the whole day? Would
I'd
you
probably
go
do
on
the same
trips?
thing I'm doing now.
Okay,
I'll just
you
pay
would
off
still,
all my bills. Pay my mortgage off.
Right.
you wouldn't be on a beach somewhere. You'd be programming on a beach.
No, I would still take vacation, better vacations maybe with the family. We go to Ocean City, Maryland. We're going in July. Maybe we go to Hawaii instead. But I don't like planes, so even that I'd
You'd be
like,
developing more games if you had all the money in the world.
No, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. That wouldn't change.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I'd be doing the same thing I'm doing now. I would just maybe have a nicer car and my house would be paid for.
Okay.
I'm a simple guy, Max.
Me
Maybe a
too.
bigger CRT and some arcade cabinets.
Oh, so you want another CRT now since you're a game developer? See, we had a little spat last summer when Cyrus was here. I'm like, he was getting rid of his CRTs, and I'm like, are you even that retro, bro? And he's like,
The only reason,
I'm developing a game, ass. That's you responded to me. I'm a super retro, way more retro than you. Did you develop a game? I'm like, no. You really dropped the mic on me.
The only reason why I have the CRT was because I needed to test the light gun function. If I didn't have to do that, I wouldn't have done it because I have a
you wanted one though.
ABS.
Like,
I
come
did.
on, you did.
Cyrus is always willing to help. Get you a CRT.
13-inch CRTs are hard to find, man. Like the smaller ones are really tough. At first, I messaged Sam like, "These people want $100. They're crazy." He's like, "No, that's about right."
No, that was a good price for that one. Especially
I paid 80. I paid 85 for that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a good one.
Any interest in current day movies? Are you really wanting to get back to the theater to see the newest Snow White?
No, I have no interest. I have no interest in seeing that movie.
No interest in seeing that movie.
And I'll tell you why. It's not the woke.
What? This is the first I'm hearing it. What? There's woke in it?
Yeah. So it's not that. I saw a clip of the CGI and it looked terrible.
Thank you. Thank you.
It looks so bad. Like they spent $500 million on this movie and the CGI looks worse than some of the shit that we saw in like the early 90s. I'm like, what'd they spend their money on? So it looked really bad. Dopey talks apparently. Like Dopey's not supposed to talk. They changed too much. I'm like, listen, all you had to do was remake the movie. The movie's 100 years old. There's a lot of people, like if you're under the age of 30, there's a very high chance you've never even seen the original Snow White. So you don't have to change the story. There you go. So you didn't have to change it. I'm just like,
all right.
When it comes to Disney Plus, I'll put it on in the background or something.
You've got a house full of ladies. No one was interested in seeing the Snow White
No.
remake? None. See?
No.
My wife too.
The CGI.
I get so trashed on my movie talk. I'm like, listen, I asked my wife, do you want to go see with me? She's like, nah, I don't want to see it. And I think that's part of the problem, regardless of all this other talking points. No,
What made The Lion King and Aladdin so great is they didn't change anything. They just adapted it and they made it live action. That's why those were so good, was because they just took the original story and made real people and gave it some life. This was, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's Disney, man. They're kind of hit or miss. I do want to see the new Captain America movie, regardless of the reviews that it got, but I'm gonna wait. I don't go to the movie theaters because it's too expensive. I'll wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. So I do want to see it because I'm a huge Mackie fan. I really like him.
Oh yeah, I like Mackie.
And I love the Winter Soldier Falcon show. I love that show.
I like how Mackie started too. He at the very beginning when the Captain America movies, he helped talk to vets that had PTSD and stuff. Remember?
Yeah.
I like, he's earned his spot there. Yeah. But I would say that's not a movie to get you back. And
that's a bummer. My daughter said it's not very good either. She went to see it with a friend.
It's not bad. It's just not on the caliber of the other Captain America movies.
That's a bummer.
And I like the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series better than it too. So I don't know if you watched that one.
Yeah, I did. I love that show.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
really
you
like
love that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other movies? It get you? Are you checked out of Marvel and DC? Star
No,
Wars?
Doomsday does interest me. I kind of want to see Doomsday when that comes out. Is that the next one? Is
They're
that the
making
next
it
like
now.
Avengers movie? Yeah.
They're developing it now. They actually, this is how much MCU nerds are. They actually did a 5-hour stream this week, John, and all they did was put the camera on the back. You know how when you're on set you have a chair that says like Robert Downey Jr. on the back of the chair? They had 50 chairs. And like every 15 minutes they went to another chair, and nerds were just like all day for 5 hours. They're like, all I'm gonna do is show the chairs, bro. You're like, it's just showing the chairs. And at the end, they show Robert Downey Jr. They showed 50 chairs for 5 hours.
You know what they were doing? They were waiting to see a chair as a big reveal. That's what they were doing.
Yeah. There was some interesting names there that you weren't expecting, you know.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, other than movies, I'm not really. I watch stuff I do watch like 2 movies a week though, and that's generally just what comes on new to Netflix or whatever. And they're usually a little bit older. They've been out for a year or whatever.
That's
but I enjoy watching movies because it's good. It's a good way for me to. I have to put my phone down if I'm watching a movie though. Otherwise, I'll be on my phone. It's a good way for me to kind of decompress. Like last week, I watched Twister, the newer one. I thought that was pretty good. That was really good.
Yeah, I want to see that still.
I watched that one on.
My audience keeps telling me that I'm a Max Movies and I don't watch movies.
The one on Netflix called Electric State. That's a good movie. Have you seen that?
I just started watching it with my wife today, and I didn't think it was. I mean, it wasn't
really. Oh, I loved it, man.
I thought it was kind of fun, but okay.
It wasn't like knock you out of the park, but I thought it was a good sit down. You know, interesting storyline. You know, some of the what did I watch that was really bad recently? Oh, shit. Craven. I watched Craven last week.
Yeah. That was rough.
I mean, some of the dialogue in that is so bad.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Craven's a bad guy. Craven's a bad guy, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what Tony keeps doing, making the bad guys good guys. Like, what the hell? And Aaron Taylor Johnson, he needs to just get a new agent because they put him in some crap, and he's not a bad actor. He's not the problem.
No, he wasn't the problem in that movie. No, he was probably the best actor on screen. That girl though that was helping him was she was a terrible actress.
Yes.
There was a line so bad in that movie it reminded me of one of the lines in Resident Evil. It was really bad. I was like, ooh, it's bad if I catch it because I'm a real casual movie watcher. If I catch something and think it's bad, it's really bad.
Have you been watching Daredevil? Did you say?
I love it. That's so good.
I'm behind on episodes. I have to catch up on Daredevil.
It was a little slow. I'll be honest with you. It was starting to piss me off, and I was like, if they don't ramp this up here within the next episode, I'm gonna wait. And then the 2 episodes because they dropped 2 on Tuesday, they were really good. I was like, damn it, it's over. Like now what? So,
yeah, I was like, 2 episodes. Oh, and then they were.
I got excited.
I need to. Did you see the Penguin? The Penguin's the other. Not interested in the Batman or the Penguin.
Knights haven't seen it.
Okay, it's on HBO.
Really good.
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
All right. Okay. What have you been watching, Cyrus? Daredevil?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with Daredevil. And you know, I was kind of like John. I was like, I don't know exactly what to think as it was getting started because it was a little slow. I mean, the beginning wasn't. It didn't. There was, the very first episode was like, whoa, and then it was like it slowed a little bit. But I like that too. I can appreciate when things slow down and give you time to like get into the world and process what's happening and get familiar with characters.
That's going to make the end of the season more impactful if it's not just constant action. And then probably Punisher's going to come in. And
well, the stuff with Fisk was a little frustrating because I was like, come on, let's get going here. Like, what are we doing? But stuff's moving again. I don't want to spoil nothing for you, Max, but Dude, watch these 2 episodes before it gets ruined for you, because
Okay, yeah, I want to catch up this weekend. I'm probably not going to see Snow White this weekend. If I see it, it'll be next week.
God, Snow White.
I'm gonna go see it because I kind of want to support the movie, but I'm like not like super looking.
Why would you want to support this movie? They have made nothing but terrible decisions from day one on this.
I support Disney still.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not thinking it's going to be amazing, but you know, and I've got so annoyed on Movie Talk, people saying,
okay, let me just
about it that
let me just say this.
See it, yeah.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Forget about politics. Forget about blah blah blah. Whatever. Just the movie itself. The CGI quality is unforgivable. Like what they did with these the dwarfs is unforgivable.
You're not allowed to call them dwarves anymore. It's not in the title of the movie, Cyrus. You're not allowed to say it.
You know what, dude? No.
The magical creatures.
Why would you support this? What magical creatures? What? What are you talking about? Magical creatures?
They are magical.
This is why I don't go on your movie stuff, because
Joe says it's amazing.
I have a very low tolerance for absolute nonsense. When stuff is like at a level where it's reached like the absurdity of
Joe, be nice.
Sense.
He's allowed to have his opinion.
Fantastic. What do you think?
This is Joe. God. No, this is my friend Joe that I visit, and he usually likes things that I dislike, and it
was fantastic. The magical people, or whatever we're supposed to call them, looked absolutely real. You're right. Yeah.
They're not supposed to look real. They're supposed to look magical.
You know what? I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. Be quiet.
No, but Joe, this is exactly why this isn't getting people back to the theater. Cyrus is not political.
It looks like crap.
Cyrus has no reason to not want to see this movie. He will go to the theater if it looks good.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, dude. I almost was willing to go see this movie just for one reason, and that's Gal Gadot. I was like, I love everything she does. Like, I watch pretty much everything she does because I think she's, one of those actresses that I just really like to watch. And I was like, maybe I'll see it because of that. But
she's the weakest link, I've heard.
Well, I don't care. That was interesting to me. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what almost had me convinced to watch the movie. And you telling me that she's the weakest link is actually reaffirming my decision that, hey, good job, Cy, not going to see this crap movie that so many people, for some reason, defend based on something that has nothing to do with the quality of the movie. But I guess
no. Joe really thinks the quality's high. It's not because he's political. Oh, Joe is just a movie. I called him this. I
love Joe. Joe's a good guy. I
called him a movie simp. Like
no.
No, that's in a good way. Like there's James Gunn fans. They're called gun nuts. You're okay with being called a movie simp, aren't you, Joe? You're like so simping for movies in the theater.
I have nothing against Rachel's Ziegler.
Well, I don't care what she says politically. I don't.
I don't evaluate my movies based on people's politics. Like
no, I don't evaluate my purchases of any store. Like it's a good value to me. That's all I care about. Because everyone's got opinions I don't care about.
There's John. Thank you. Welcome back, John.
I'm back.
Back to that.
We were talking about Snow White.
No.
Okay. Now let's talk about Superman. That's the big movie this year. Superman. What are you interested in going back to DC and seeing another version of Superman, John?
I'll watch it when it's available on like HBO Max or something. Or
you're not Prime. It's not drawing you back to anything you've seen any of the promo work that you're
I haven't. I'm telling you, man, I don't go to the theaters. Like it's just not something I just don't enjoy doing it. It's just like not a fun experience for me. I'll watch it at home, man, with my snacks.
I mean, that's to be fair. This is very revealing about men our age. Honestly, we have a lot.
I also got kids too, man. So it's expensive to take 4 other people to the movie theaters. It's crazy. I mean, I could take them all out to dinner and spend the same amount of money. So And my kids don't care because kids like when we were kids, like a movie came out, you wanted to go see the movie because until it could be like a year later until it came out on tape or whatever. Now these things are on streaming services 3 months at minimum after they come out. So they don't really pay attention to movies. So really it's like if I want to see something and I can wait. I mean, I do the same thing for games now too. I'll wait, like I'll put it in my Steam wish list and wait for it to be on sale 6 months later. Like all the games that are coming out now.
Maybe I'll make your way.
Sale.
Maybe I'll make your way out your way to, because Joe lives near you too in the same area. I'll go visit you and we'll go see Superman together this summer.
If you're out here, hit me up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lives like an hour. He lives down near where Too Many Games is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not far. I am going to go to Too Many Games this year. I was going to get a booth this year, but they want way too much money, man. They want way too much, and you're not guaranteed a spot.
Let's do guerrilla style parking lot sales. Hey, I got a game over here in my trunk.
I'll bring some if I have any.
Get you a trench coat.
Trench coat games. Do you even want games, bro?
I got something in the corner. Come over here.
Yeah. Joe says, I read on Google that a simp is someone who's nice to women. I'm a proud simp. I don't know if that's all that's there. That I have kids too. That's why I prefer the theater. I can watch a movie in peace in the theater. I can't do that at home. The other issue I've been having at the theater is because life's so busy, I actually go pay my ticket and I fall asleep. And I don't want to go to the movie theater.
My wife will fall asleep at a movie theater.
And I don't like that.
Last time I went to the movies was when the new Deadpool Wolverine movie came out. I was up in New York for work and I was bored. And I'm like, I'm gonna go watch this movie. It was like 9:00 on a Tuesday, so there was nobody there. I got like a beer because they had beer at this movie theater. So, which was a mistake because I had to piss like halfway through the movie. So, but that was good. But yeah, I mean, I have the projector if I really want the movie experience. I have the surround sound. I don't use it nearly as much as I probably should, but I'm comfortable.
This is actually a great idea. If you're interested, Joe knows the person that's in charge of RetroCon. It's cheaper, and I'm going RetroCon. Same plays at Too Many Games.
Really?
If you were interested, John, I could bring my my Turtles TV and my Batman TV, and we could have a few things set up where people could try your games on those TVs.
It's September 6th and 7th. I'm not doing anything that weekend.
Yeah, if you're interested, I'll come by, bring my little CRTs. You could bring your CRT. We could have 3
It's only
CRTs.
$250 for a table. Wow.
Yeah. I'll bring my little mini TVs and we could have 3 stations.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Try your games. I'll bring my
because my games will be done. Maverick's Baghdad Extraction will be 100% done by then.
Yeah. I'll bring my CRTs, and then I'll also bring my Retron, where so you can have a couple stations for your games if you want. Let me know. And then Joe knows the person in charge of that convention. I really want to go to
close.
That one.
Yeah. Maybe as a vendor I can get extra passes or whatever, because I know sometimes they'll do that. So you could help me at the table or whatever. That'd be fun. Get some cheesesteaks, sit at the table and play games.
I think tell me I should bring those mini TVs, right? So we have a few stations.
I have one.
You'll have 3. So. You'll have 3 then. I have a.
How big are your TVs?
They're 13 inches. There's the Turtles that works.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And then I also have a Batman TV too.
Hell yeah, man! Let's do it. That'll be fun.
Okay.
That's way cheaper. Yeah, dude. Too Many Games wanted like over $1,000.
And then you have less competition there too. Then.
Yeah.
Because it's all games where there's a variety. Yeah. Yeah.
How long has this place been going on? I've never even heard of this one before. That's crazy. Is this a newer one?
Lord.
No, it's been a while. Okay, so we'll work on that behind the scenes because I definitely want to go this year.
Yeah, no,
okay.
That'd be great.
We could start wrapping it up here if we want to talk about anything current. Any thoughts on the Switch 2 coming out? Any interest?
I haven't really been following it. No.
What about other some of the games that I've been? Did you see that Terminator game?
Yeah, that looks good. I want to get that. I saw that.
In that
think
new Marvel game, Cosmic
That one,
Invasion.
I got to check that one out. But that one, from what I heard, looks good. But that Terminator game is a day one for me.
Yeah, the other one that I'm looking forward to is that Marvel one just came out of the blue for me. I was like, whoa, I didn't know you're making this. Okay, last year was the 10th anniversary of Retro.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So they're established. That's pretty crazy. They
Yeah.
must. Yeah.
I want to get it because they have movies and stuff there too. Movies, music, all kind of retro.
Where's that?
That's the thing. Like too many games is nice, but it's really at the end of the day, it's nothing but a bunch of people selling games. Like the whole place is just games. I don't know. AZ Game on Expo was really good. When I used to live out in Phoenix, I used to go out there. That was a good one.
Joe, she's right here. This is Rhea. No, Rhea wasn't feeling well. Hope she feels better. Hopefully she'll be back for the next Have You Met. But yeah, we're making plans here. I can't wait to see you again. Oh yes. Eating paste.
What's up,
Eating paste? I showed Eating Paste the manual that I made. He liked it.
Oh, cool. Cyrus, do you have any current game topics? What have you been gaming? Let's catch up on Cyrus too. What have you been gaming?
Nothing. Don't worry about
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
You've been playing you've been playing some Coleco, right?
Oh yeah.
Did you a couple streams of that?
We're doing ColecoVision stuff on my channel on not every Sunday, but we're doing it tomorrow. So it's fun. It's fun doing this super duper old school retro.
John, if I was going to get you a VHS, what movie would really? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be a good one to get you.
I was going to say that. That's the first one. Yeah.
All right, so I'll have to look for that.
Terminator movies would be another one. RoboCop would be a good one to have on VHS.
I didn't mind that. RoboCop. That was supposed to go to Cyrus.
Is it? I gotta ask you though. Is it just a nostalgia thing for you because it's not the best image quality? So what's so?
It's good enough.
About the VHS?
Actually, there's certain movies that I think look better.
Can I say something about that? So,
no.
John, I've been very skeptical of this VHS thing that Max is obsessed with. I've been very like, okay, I don't know. But I'll tell you this. You might be surprised if you get you a VHS movie and throw it on, how much nostalgia comes back from the old days of.
And doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah. I cut off the
last time I watched a VHS movie was probably at my mother-in-law's house in like 2007, 2008. Because we went to visit her and she still had the VCR, and then a stack of VHS tapes that we watched. My wife had when she was a kid.
I think the reason people have a bad image in their mind of what VHS was like is a lot of us grew up poor. We had hand-me-down VHS, crappy VCRs, not the best TVs,
dirty heads.
Yeah. No, but when, like I said, this is the best time to collect VHS because honestly, these are the ones on the market now are coming from collectors that held on to it for so long time, had very few uses. Like the people that collectors honestly watch their tapes the least. They sit on this shelf and look nice.
Me, yeah.
So look at these tapes here. They all look like mint. If you started collecting VHS back in the late 90s, early 2000s, they'd be cardboard falling off. There would be gunk on it. They would be worn tapes. Most of these are like so good, very few views, and we're just collectors. Collectors are either dying off or they're finally upgrading to DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. And they're finally
you got enough tapes there to start your own Blockbuster store.
Oh yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have some rare ones too.
He has a Blockbuster shirt that he wears sometimes.
Yeah, the quality is not bad. In some of the tapes, some of the movies, the techniques they use the one I always go back to is, John Woo Hard-Boiled. It's like an action flick with
John.
It's like John Wick, but not John Wick. It was like before John Wick. Gun Fu. You ever heard of Gun Fu? Okay. Well, they do
You see this
cool
shaking? This is
acrobatics.
my
with it.
cat. He's
Yeah.
he's rubbing his head on the table. Quit doing that.
Well, you know the Matrix when they did the 3D
Yeah.
movement where they went around. So back in the day before the Matrix,
John.
they used to do slow motion by actually just slowing down the frames from 30 frames per second to 10. You do not need a 4K lens on that. It's going to make it look worse.
This is
Stuff like that. Some of the practical effects and techniques they used back in the day. I actually think RoboCop looks a lot better on VHS than even new. Just the way it was filmed, just the era it was in, the special effects. I prefer it on VHS. That's my physical media I watch the most is VHS. I love it. And it's not bad quality. We don't need 4K for everything.
There's something about the pan and scan that's very nostalgic because a lot of times, like when we were kids, we watched these movies over and over and over and over. So we're used to seeing certain movements that the pan and scan would do. And when you watch a movie in a current format in letterbox or widescreen, it doesn't do that same movement sometimes. So the scenes look different. So when you go back and watch some of this stuff, like Star Wars, for example,
Yeah, I
you
was
go
gonna
back
say
and watch.
Star Wars is the first thing I thought of the way they did
Yeah,
that.
exactly. It's very nostalgic. It's like
it's a different vibe. It's like a different. I feel like a different version. Like some people collect widescreen on VHS, and I think that I don't like it. This doesn't feel right to me. I like the pan and scan. It's a different feel when you pop in Star Wars. You're like, it feels different than watching it on Disney Plus now. Because it's all widescreen and pristine quality and 4K lens, but it does not look bad, especially the set. If you have a clean VCR, I clean my VCR with my Blockbuster head cleaner. I have a really nice VCR, a really nice TV set. It looks good. It looks good. I even have Joe sold me. There are very few of these. It's like the best VCR I've ever had. It's a Blu-ray VCR combo that upscales VHS to 1080p. And it looks great. It's in my living room. I'm actually dreading taking it back to college because I bought it from my mom.
Can you watch? How's that work though? If you don't have that hooked up to your CRT, do you?
No, it's in my 4K living room TV, and it looks great.
I'd be curious to see how that looks with the VHS on a 4K TV because
I even upscaled the 4K with my M Classic.
That player he has is super expensive. Like that thing is designed to. It's got a digital converter in it, like like kind of like the retro tank and all that. It's kind of like built into that. So
you know what that would be good for, Max, is converting old VHS tapes. I wonder how that would. Man, if I could do that, because I have these old VHS tapes I convert. When I put them on digital, they look like shit. They're all pixelated. They look terrible. They look okay when you're watching it on like an old TV on a VCR, but as soon as you put it into the like if I put it in OBS and record it, it looks like ass. You can barely like make out faces in that if they're not up right in front of the camera. That would be perfect for that, man.
The last time I did a conversion, I used the RetroTink 5X. It does a great job of converting those scan lines because VHS is interlaced, so you really have to have something that converts that, otherwise it just looks like absolute dog shit. You're right.
I never even thought to do something like that with like a RetroTink. I mean, I have the SCART, so I can't use that, but like a 2X Pro I could probably use.
Yeah, definitely.
I never even thought of that.
You should try that, see how it goes, because that would definitely do it. The 2X Pro is really good for that.
Trying to see if I wanted to talk about before we start wrapping up the Switch 2. I have a theory. Oh, here we go. I can bring this up here.
Tuesday is the big Switch 2 thing.
Well, I want to float my theory to everyone here while you're on it. We try to on the interviews we try to cover one current topic.
Oh, John, you should mention that your game. You should mention that your game is on that service. It's
on Antstream. Yeah, Max did mention that earlier on the stream. I think before you hopped on. So this is interesting. This virtual card.
I think this is bad news.
Really?
Yes. The reason is I think what Nintendo is doing here. when they had that recent video, they said there's a Switch 2 edition of Switch 1 games.
Oh.
So what my theory is that the Switch 2, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. We will know more Thursday, is when you put a Switch 1 game in a Switch 2 console, I don't think you're going to naturally get the upgrade. It's just going to naturally upgrade the game. I think you're going to have to pay a fee like Sony does when you put in a PS4 game to the PS5 and you have to pay an upgrade fee like $10 for the Spider-Man. And then it's going to be locked. Yet, Cy knows what I'm talking about, right, Cyrus? So, certain games you have to play.
Yeah, well,
the PS5 version. So I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they let you play your PS4 version, but they do offer an upgrade for the PS5 version if you want like some enhancement of some kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think when you put the Switch 1 card in the Switch 2, it's going to let you play it in the same resolution on the Switch 1 without paying anything. But if you want the upgraded one, you will have to potentially pay a fee, and then it'll be locked to the Switch 2 console, because it says when you have a Switch 1, Switch 2 edition game, this is very confusing. You cannot transfer the digital card back to the Switch 1. It's locked to the Switch 2. They said that in the thing. A Switch 2 edition game, because
you still have the card though.
Right.
Game.
So that's going to probably help with people wanting to sell their Switch 1 physical, because if you could put a Switch 1 game, buy the upgraded, and now it's virtual Switch 2 card, but you can't transfer back to the Switch 1, you might not sell the actual physical card. And then I think, because this is Nintendo, I think you're going to have a physical Switch 2 game of a Switch 1 game upgraded in retail on the card, and a new SKU, a new game out there, and the collectors are going to want to buy it all over again. So we may get Wii U games that were ported to the Switch that now have a Switch 2 version, upgraded 4K Switch 2 physical card of like Mario Kart 8 again or something, or the Switch. This is what I think is happening. Is my theory confusing? Do you think Nintendo would do this? When I was really like, I'm like, what's going on here? Why do you have why are you really stressing this virtual game card thing, and you can't send it back to the Switch? You can't send the Switch 2 Switch 1 game back to the Switch 1 console.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, because Nintendo has always found a way to get you to purchase games you already have again. They've just always been able to do that. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've purchased like Super Mario Brothers 3 because I wanted to play it on like the newest Nintendo console, or Zelda. Like I remember buying Zelda on the Wii because I wanted to play it. And at the time, this was like before Raspberry Pis and that. So I was like, oh, I'll just buy it again. Like they've just always found ways to do that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it's, and people have always just kind of been like, yeah, it's Nintendo.
Now I might be conspiracy theory and looking way too into this, but I'm just thinking about Nintendo money, rebuying your games. And people are going to blast me for this in the comment section if they watch this on the replay, but I still think, and this is going to sound like crazy to people that are current gen gamers, I still think the Xbox is the best value for the money because you could still play games you bought on the 360 without buying them again or paying an upgrade fee. They just naturally get the best version of the game. And Sony and Nintendo do not do that. I love Sony and Nintendo, but they're not very. You have to pay a subscription fee to play some of the old games. You can't
they've always done well with their backwards compatibility.
They've had to, yeah, but yeah.
Did you see how they Did you see the rumor that they want to get Steam on the next Xbox console?
That's more a rumor. It's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for Xbox because you know Steam tried it, Valve tried it with the Steam box, and it never really went anywhere. But dude, you could basically get, because all PlayStation games are going to Steam now. PlayStation wants to send them to Steam day one, so you're basically going to have PlayStation games on your Xbox. That's going to be huge for people. Plus, there's a lot of people who don't want to sit at a computer to use Steam. They want to just be able to do it on their Xbox or whatever.
Oh.
And if they have access to Steam on their Xbox and don't really have any system limitations because it's going to be the newest Xbox, so basically play everything that a PC can. That's going to be huge, man.
They should just call it Xbox the next thing and not a console, just an Xbox PC. And then, well, they said a lot of the video game talk has been saying that the benefit of the new handheld, they are working on a handheld, of other companies making handhelds for Microsoft and them just carrying the Xbox branding, is to get around. Like Asus is going to be one of the first ones developing an Xbox handheld before Microsoft develops their own in-house handheld. Is they could get around that stuff and have PlayStation and Steam all on there more easily.
Huge,
yeah.
It'll be huge for Xbox. It'll certainly turn the tides of how people view Xbox if they pull it off. It'll be big. As long as they don't make you, the only kind of thing, the only shitty thing I could see Microsoft doing is like having you pay a monthly fee or making it part of their subscription fee to access Steam. That would be really shitty. And do I think they'll do that? I don't know, but I could see them doing something lame like that. You can have access to Steam, but pay $20 a month or whatever. That would be shitty. Steam's free, so
we were talking last night, and I was saying, how are they going to have people pay to play online if they have Steam on there also? And if so, I think the suggestion last night was that they're going to phase out the pay to play online for Xbox, and I'm like, well, that's good. But then
if they do that and PlayStation, Nintendo are now charging you, that's big. That's a game
that
changer.
would be huge for Xbox. Yeah, absolutely.
What did you think about my theory, Cyrus? On I smell some shenanigans with this virtual game card thing. I think it's a way to get more money out of the consumer. And I have my. Do you feel?
Look, we're gonna find out on Tuesday a lot more, and I'm not going to get myself all worked up about a bunch of possibilities between now and then.
Well, that's the point of my channel. Get you worked up. That's
okay. Hang on. Let me do it the other way then. I think it's the end of the world. Nintendo's about to charge us again, triple for something, and take away that they gave us.
I think a lot of us hoped that this backwards compatibility for the Switch would be natively just make games look better, but I don't think they're going to do that without a charge. And I think that's where this virtual game card thing is coming into play. They're going to charge you for it.
From what I understand about the virtual game card, and we're going to find out on Tuesday more, but
they were stressing this too. This is why I was like, yeah.
From what I understand, it's digital only stuff. Okay. It's your digital stuff from Switch and from Switch 2 that they're going to have virtual game card versions, but we don't really know what that means necessarily. And then you'll be able to put it on more than one Switch. And I think, to me, what I heard when I saw that was, oh, now I don't have to sell my original Switch. And I think that was the thinking. The reason that Nintendo waited until now to do it was because they don't want people to get rid of their, they want people to buy the new Switch. They don't want people to buy the old Switch when someone's selling that. They want everybody to hold on to it.
The biggest alarm bell that rang, they were really stressing to a Switch 2 edition Switch 1 game. That sounds ridiculous, but I'm like, what does that mean?
We'll find
and that makes even them saying Switch 2 edition of a Switch 1 game means to me that the Switch 1 game is just not going to organically look better.
I don't think it's going to work for every game either. I think it's only going to be certain games. That's what I think. But we'll find out for sure.
Do you see what I'm saying there, John? That's the alarm bell that went off in my head. Switch 2 edition, Switch 1 game. Why would you need to differentiate that if a Switch 1 game is just not organically going to look better on the console? Why would you need a Switch 2 edition of a Switch 1 game?
Well, it's the same reason Sony does it. I mean, you can play PS4 games on PS5 and it doesn't look different. It doesn't look better if you have just because you're playing it on PS5 might load faster. But I mean, I don't know. As I said, we're gonna learn more on Tuesday. So luckily for you, Max, you're gonna find out soon.
Yeah,
but I'm telling everyone, Switch 2 edition, Switch 1 game. There's some shenanigans in there. There's definitely shenanigans in there. Otherwise, you would just say Switch 1 game works on a Switch 2. A Switch 2 edition of a Switch 1 game. Are you selling it again? Do I have to upgrade? Do I have to pay a fee? That's a,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm curious to see just how many original Switch games will even work on a Switch 2. They say it's backwards compatible, but what does that mean? We're going to find out a lot more about this.
They may run better, but they can't look better unless you pay the fee or buy the Switch 2 edition of a Switch 1 game and buy it again. I am not buying games that I bought on the Wii U again just because it's 4K now. I'm not.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
I'm not.
You
Not
will
right
do it.
away. I'll wait till there's a sale.
Not right away. See, they're getting there. They already got you halfway there.
I don't know. Actually, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yes, Reno, you might be onto something with that.
What?
He says this
Switch Pro more than Switch 2. All right. Well, I want to thank our good pal Retro Bro John for coming on talking about his game development. A lot of respect. Go check him out. Go check out here Icho for his games. And thank you to Cyrus as well. Cyrus, do you want to pimp anything out?
No, I'm good.
No, guys. All right, and we'll see you guys. Well, I don't know when I'm going to see John. John, go in a hole and develop more games, and then come out when you have something else to show. Like 3 more games. Go, But we'll see. If he does go to the RetroCon, I'll let you guys know if we set up a table. That might be an interesting thing to do.
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
do that
We'll
now.
talk about.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then I can help a little bit. Just make sure no one steals my TVs because some of those are expensive now.
That Ninja Turtle TV, dude.
The Batman one. The Batman one has a battering for remote control.
Really I want to play NES Batman on the Batman CRT. I really do.
Which Batman?
The NES, the first one. I want to play the first one. Or
the Joker
actually,
one's a good one.
Any of them. They're all good. The Batman Returns, Return the Joker. Pick one.
Return of the Joker looks the best. And that's got a better soundtrack, I think. Are they all made by is it JBL?
Sunsoft.
JBN? Sunsoft. Yeah.
Sunsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They're all made. Are they all made by Sunsoft?
On the NES, and some on the Genesis.
That's why the sound's so good on the NES, because they use that DPCM channel. That just makes sound so much better. So
this was a Have You Met Retro Bro or / Super Retro Bros reunion show? Remember the Super Retro Bros? All right. Okay, so
the limited series.
It wasn't supposed to be limited. It was just we all got busy. Well, we'll try to get together again. All right. No Arkham series. I don't know. Have a good one, everyone. Go see Snow White. Go check out his games.